If you're looking for a new MacBook, you are facing what is probably one of the toughest decisions in all of tech. Do you go for the Air or the Pro? Well, in this explainer, we're going to cut right through all that confusion and give you a super simple, clear path to finding your perfect machine. This is the question, right? It's the one millions of people wrestle with every single year. And honestly, the answer has never been more complicated. But don't you worry, by the end of this, you're going to have a straightforward way to answer this for yourself, once and for all. And the reason this choice is so agonizing is because of Apple's silicon. These new chips have made the performance gap between the Air and the Pro both way wider and, in some ways, kind of narrower than it's ever been. It's a real head-scratcher. And this right here is the new reality. You know the old rules of Air is weak, Pro is strong? Yeah, you can just throw those out the window. The base M-series chips are so unbelievably fast for normal, everyday stuff that we have to look way beyond raw speed to find the differences that you'll actually feel. Okay, so let's dive right in. We're going to cut through all the crazy numbers and the jargon you see on the spec sheets. We're going to focus on the three big, tangible differences that you will actually notice and feel every single day. These are the things that truly set the Air and the Pro apart. Let's kick things off with a screen. Now, the Pro's 120Hz ProMotion display, this is something you don't just see, you feel it. It's not just a number. It means scrolling through a website or a long document just feels buttery smooth and incredibly responsive. Now, don't get me wrong, the Air's screen is amazing, but the Pro's is just on another planet, especially for that smoothness and for anyone doing serious photo or video work. And here it is, what I think is the most critical difference of all. Think of the Air as a sprinter. It's ridiculously fast for short bursts, but then it needs to catch its breath. Why? Because it has no fan. It's dead silent. The Pro, on the other hand, is a marathon runner. Thanks to its fans, it can just run at its absolute top speed forever, which is absolutely crucial for those really demanding, long-running jobs. So that catching its breath thing the Air does, there's a technical name for it, thermal throttling. And look, it's not a flaw, it's actually a feature of its silent, fanless design. But it's the #1 reason why, even with a similar chip inside, the Pro will always blow the Air away on any tough task that takes more than a few minutes. This one really just boils down to your lifestyle. You know, are you a minimalist? Do you love the clean look and you're totally fine carrying a little hub or a dongle when you need to plug stuff in? Or are you a creative pro who just needs the convenience of having an HDMI port for a monitor and an SD card reader for your camera ready to go, no questions asked? And this chart just perfectly shows that marathon runner idea we were talking about. See? On a really long, tough test, the Air's performance starts to dip as it gets warm. But the Pro, thanks to those fans, it just keeps on trucking at full speed, holding a way higher level of performance over the long haul. All right, so now that we know the key differences, let's start talking about who each of these machines is for. Let's start with the Air. Could this be the default Mac for most people? I gotta say, for a massive number of people, the answer is a huge, resounding yes. I mean, just think about it. Students, writers, folks in business, even a lot of programmers and people doing some light photo and video work. The MacBook Air is the perfect machine. And honestly, for most of these people, it's actually way more powerful than they'll ever need, which is just awesome. And here's the real kicker. For a starting price of around $1,100, you're getting absolutely world-class performance, fantastic build quality, and just an amazing laptop experience. This, right here, makes the MacBook Air the undisputed value champion of Apple's entire lineup, period. Okay, so if the Air is so good, why does the MacBook Pro even exist? Well, let's be really clear about this. The Pro isn't just better, it's a specialized tool. It's built for a very specific group of people who have very specific, very demanding professional needs. And I want you to pay close attention to that word, needs. These are the people whose work directly benefits from everything the Pro offers. We're talking about that sustained performance for editing 8K video, those extra graphics cores for visual effects, the higher memory for machine learning. These are the users who will feel that Pro difference every single day. And right here, you can see that step up in power. When you go from the base chip to the Pro and Max versions, which, by the way, you can only get in the MacBook Pro, you're not just getting more cores. You're getting a huge jump in memory bandwidth. Think of that like adding a ton more lanes to a highway for your data. That's what makes those crazy demanding Pro workflows even possible.
Okay, we've broken down the key differences. We've talked about who each machine is for. So now let's bring it all home. Let's put this together into one simple framework that's going to make this decision incredibly easy for you.
So it's time to ask yourself, right? Based on everything we've just talked about, which profile do you really fit? Are you the sprinter or are you the marathon runner? Does your day-to-day work actually demand all that extra power, or would you be perfectly happy with the incredible value you get from the Air? Here it is. This is the simplest way to decide. Step 1, just assume you're getting the MacBook Air. Make it your default choice. Seriously. Step 2, ask yourself this one critical question about your professional daily work. And step 3 is simple. If the answer is no, congratulations, you just found your Mac. Buy the Air, be happy, don't look back. If the answer is a definite yes, then you are exactly the person the MacBook Pro was built for. And that's really the bottom line. Most people out there who think they need a Pro laptop will be absolutely blown away by the power and the value of the MacBook Air. You should only buy the Pro when you know for a fact that your work will make that extra cost pay for itself. So, what's it going to be? What's your perfect match?